We're going to be glad you showed up tonight. Still invite some friends to come, even at this late stage. Now, kindly allow for us to have this disclaimer. It is the FDA disclaimer as put out by Mito. It says that these statements are not being evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The product discussed is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information is intended for general information purpose only. It is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment of disease. As it relates to testimonial, the testimonial disclaimer, no one was compensated for giving a testimonial. All testimonials are the opinions of those individuals and may not be the result that everyone gets. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special person on the call, and we thank God that he has decided to come along and to help us in our presentation. He's a doctor. He's a gentleman that I've met. I've known him for a couple years now, and he's just one of those sincere, down-to-earth, grassroots doctor that love people and he likes to see when people's health are restored, and he don't like to see people in pain and in misery. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have Dr. Desmond Samuels. Dr. Samuels is quite an achiever for me. He was a young man, setting records at his school and at athletic events in Jamaica that is still very impressive. So Dr. Samuels holds a bachelor's degree in psychology. He holds a bachelor's degree in theology. He has a diploma in electronics technology, and also he's an accident and emergency physician. So he knows the construct of the human body. When you're broken up, when you're hurting, when you're in pain, he knows how to put you back together and to make suggestions to you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of the way of greatness and introduce to some and others this amazing human being we have sharing his knowledge and intellect with us. So as I get out of the way of greatness, I present to you Dr. Desmond Samuels. Have you made it to the call, please, Doc?
I am here. I am here. How are you, sir?
Thank God, man. If I was any better, I would have to have a twin. Thank you for asking.
Folks, welcome to this evening's call. We are grateful and thankful that you have taken the time out to come to us to this call tonight to listen and to listen about this revolutionary XDS technology that we're going to talk about that is simply a medical breakthrough. What you're looking at here on the screen is the human cell, the anatomy of the human cell. And there's a couple of parts of the cell that we're just going to concentrate on tonight. One is the lipid bilayer, and that is the outer core of the cell there that protects the organelles on the inside. And then we are going to deal with the mitochondria. Over the years, a lot of studies have been done on the mitochondria, and the results of these studies are coming to fruition now. And so it is that scientists are now beginning to pay special attention. So when we look at this cell that is on here, you will see the mitochondria there with my cursor, and the other one is here. So we're just going to concentrate on that tonight. So also know when we look at the mitochondria, one of the things we also recognize is it's got its own DNA. What's so impressive about the mitochondrial DNA, it is that even forensic scientists now are telling us that when they can't get the regular DNA from the nucleus, they actually can access the mitochondrial DNA. The thing about the mitochondria is that the mitochondrial DNA, it is directly from your mother. So the mitochondrial DNA come directly from your mother. And also in the mitochondria is where they found some substance also that directly connects the grandchild to the grandmother of the mother. So let's by definition talk about what the mitochondria is. These are membrane-bound cell organelles. What they do, they generate most of the chemical energy needed to provide the cell's biochemical reactions. So chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in small molecules that we call ATP. So those of us who can go back to our god awful days of biochemistry, when they talk about the Krebs cycle, the citric acid cycle, and all of that, yes. So this is what it's all about. They are producing the ATP by the mitochondria. Now, the human body is made up of cells which are powered by the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. So it converts fat and carbohydrates into energy called ATP, which is the cell's energy currency. This is the ATP is the currency or the energy that the cells actually use. Again, as the powerhouse of the cell, the main site of ATP plays a vital role in calcium storage as well. So for those who get on in age and we talk about diseases like osteoporosis and so on and so forth, the mitochondria also plays a role in preventing that. Apoptosis, which we call programmed cell death. See, the cells are supposed to live to a certain time and then they're supposed to expire. The mitochondria plays a vital role in apoptosis. So there's another type of cell death, which is basically, we call that one necrosis, and it is just like it sounds. It's usually from a lot of bad stuff happening and all of that. So yeah. Now, the mitochondria also helps in the detoxification of the cells of the liver along cells. Here is the deal, the last thing on this slide. Humans cannot survive without the mitochondria. So once our cells have been depleted of the number of mitochondria that it has in it, that is going to result in death. So what happens when the mitochondria is low? We get stuff like mitochondrial diseases, and it can cause a vast array of other health concerns, like cardiovascular issues, neurological issues, renal failure, gastrointestinal issue, pulmonary, erectile dysfunction, infertility, and even vision issues. So when we talk about gastrointestinal issues, remember now that from your mouth to your anus, it's about 30 feet of tubes, like basically tube-like stuff. So when we look into our stomach, into the cavity, the abdomen, we look into the abdomen, what's going on in there? So we have about 27 feet of tube-like tissues that are wrapped up in there. Now that's a lot of space for pathogens and other abnormalities to kind of hide and develop, right? And so once we get the mitochondria up to par, then stuff like that cannot hide in there. So we're looking at stuff like colorectal cancer, they can hide and develop. We're looking at Crohn's and colitis, they can hide and develop in that vast array of stuff that is in there. So if we get the mitochondria right, it will help our bodies to rid itself of unwanted stuff, and so that these things cannot hide in there and develop. And then when we talk about pulmonary issues, when you look in your chest, if you were to take out the two lungs out of your chest there and was able to unwrap them, to take off the layer by layer, it would be so big that it would be the size of a lawn tennis court. That's how much material the maker has wrapped up and placed inside of your chest. Imagine how much space or how much space is in there for other stuff to take root. So yes, so the mitochondria again, if it is powered up and operating optimally, then it will be able now to help the other stuff that are inside that cell now to be able to fight those phagocytes. They'll be able to phagocytose the pathogens that come in there. The neutrophils will be activated, the eosinophils and all of those other, the T cells and the B cells, everybody will be operating optimally. Understand one thing. All disease processes start with low energy. And so if the mitochondria has low energy, if it's depleting, if it's gone down to like 50-60% of what it is that you were born with, that is when stuff start happening in our cells. And so the goal of our company is to get your mitochondria right so that it can energize the cell to boost it to fix certain stuff. Erectile dysfunction, Like, think about it. You when you were a baby and when you were younger and all of that kind of stuff, we never have these issues. They come on later on in life. What is it that is causing these stuff? We talk about cause and effect. What is the cause? Low mitochondria. What is the effect? All of these disease processes start happening. So when the mitochondria is low, then here comes the big nasty one, which is inflammation. So once inflammation comes, then the disease process is going to start happening after that. So inflammation comes, then we have the cardiovascular issues. Then we have the breast and the lung cancers, the arthritis, the joint pains, the allergies. We have the eye disorders, the asthma, the diabetes, the Crohn's, the colitis, and other kinds of disease process. Now, what is diabetes? Now, diabetes is when there is too much, when your blood is basically too sweet. Because what happens is that once you eat, and that food gets in, the carbs get into your system, then they are converted to glucose. Then now the glucose is supposed to be transported into the cell by the insulin that is produced by the pancreas. Now, if you have been eating too much carbs over time, what eventually end up happening is that the cells are gonna tell the insulin that no, we're not gonna allow you to use this key to open up the door because we just cannot handle the amount of glucose you're bringing in here. And so what happened now that that glucose stays around, floats around in the blood, and so you now have insulin resistance diabetes. Now, diabetes is classified like this. We have type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. And then in the type 2 diabetes, we now have 6 clusters. So depending on the symptoms that you're exhibiting is going to determine what cluster we put you in. And based on the cluster that we put you in is going to determine the type of medication that we're going to give you. Now, when we talk about diabetes, one of the things that we have to kind of pay some attention to is that insulin, is that metformin is the number one medication that is being given out now for diabetes. So here it is. Let's say you go to the doctor, they did the check, they said, okay, you are now considered to be a diabetic. So we're going to start you off with 500 milligrams of metformin. Then later on, what's going to happen? Then after that 500 milligram once per day, we're going to find out a few years down the road that the sugar is not under control. So what we're going to do, we're going to tell you to take it twice per day. Now you're taking the 500 milligram twice per day, you're up to 1,000. Next thing you know, a few years later, we have to add a sulfonylurea to it because your sugars are still not under control. And then again, a few years later, we have to add something else, whether it be the Ozempic, or then we find out you now on all these medications you're taking by mouth, and now you're also taking insulin. Why is this? The reason for this is that medicine is basically not dealing with the root cause of the diabetes. We're just dealing with the symptom, and what we're trying to do is to lower your blood sugar. So if we were able to lower your blood sugar, then we feel that we are now dealing with what's not happening, with what's happening there. But here's the problem with that. As the blood sugar continues to spike on a daily basis whenever you eat or what happens, so on and so forth, based on the hierarchy of the organs in the body, the kidney is like number five. You have the heart, the brain, the lungs, the liver, and the kidney comes down there. Usually what happens, and one of the side effects of metformin is that it affects your kidneys. It causes renal failure. So next thing you know, being on these diabetic drugs, you're now ending up with going in every 2, 3 times a day for dialysis. And it's not only messing with your kidney, it's messing with your vision. It's not only is it messing with your vision, you're now having problems with circulation issues. And then we look at some of the other things that are on here. The allergies, those of us who live in North America, spring is coming, the allergy season is here, there's going to be a lot of problems, and so on and so forth. So what we're looking here at, we're looking at a blood vessel. This is an artery that takes blood to usually the organs, but let's talk about taking it to the heart and the brain. Now, what we're looking at here is a cholesterol plaque. So based on a person that potentially has hypertension, high blood pressure, the inside, the epithelium, the epithelial cells of these arteries, they could get damaged, they could get injured because of the hypertension. And then what happened? Neutrophils show up to try to repair the injury. And this yellow stuff that you're looking at there is actually a cholesterol plaque. And so, yes, I know cholesterol get a bad rap over the years and all of that. But the problem is not really the cholesterol. So, because what the cholesterol is coming here to do now is to repair it, is to repair this damage. But over time, because of all of the inflammation that is taking place here, the cholesterol plaque gets bigger and bigger. Then eventually, let's say, for example, this is one of the left anterior descending artery on your heart. So eventually it gets blocked up. And then if it's an artery that's on your heart, again, one of the other things that happen is that when it gets to 70% occlusion, then you're going to start having what we call angina, chest pain. And now having angina, having chest pain, now that's when you're going to run to the doctor and they're going to do their CT scan or the chest x-ray or whatever. And then we're going to realize that you'll probably have 1, 2, or 3 of these arteries that are potentially blocked up. We're looking at a 70%. That's when the pain comes. That's when you start sleeping on 2, 3 pillows at night because your breathing is labeled and all of that. But what happened here now is that if the mitochondria is right in the cell, what it is going to do to this blood vessel here is that it is going to activate the glutathione, which is the master antioxidant. And it's because it is a cholesterol chelator, it is going to go ahead and over time, it can clean out this plaque. The mitochondria needs to be right, though, in order for all of this to happen. Now, if this does not happen over time because you're not on our technology or on our product, any part of the organ that is distal to this plaque, when it eventually becomes totally occluded, you are going to end up having an infarction there because no oxygen will be getting to that part, to that tissue, and the tissue is going to die. So now if it's a heart tissue, the myocardium, then we are going to say you're going to have a myocardial infarction, which is what we call a heart attack. Or it could be going to the brain, and that is what now results in you having a stroke. So how do we prevent or repair mitochondrial damage? Well, our company called More Mito, it's about a 3-year-old company, and it really, really is doing some wonders in helping folks. Number one, we got 3 products. First product is called Ultra Mito Restore. It works from the inside out and grows the mitochondria to increase cellular energy and provide your body with the nutritional resources to restore, regenerate, and repair itself physically and emotionally. Product number 2 is the Ultra Mito Rejuvenate. This is our topical gel. Folks, it works from the outside in. It works in areas of specific concern. For example, it is highly recommended for anything that affects your hair, your scalp, your skin, or any other part of the body in anything that is unwanted. So whether it be a mold, whether it be a wart, whether it be any kind of tumor or that, it works on that. It also penetrates deep into the tendons, deep into the ligaments, deep into the muscles, deep into the joints that may be experiencing discomfort, mobility issue, lack of feeling, or poor circulation. So it goes deep in so that it can actually begin to do the restorative work that needs to be done. Now, this is how it comes packaged to you. This is our Ultra Mito Rejuvenate, and it comes in a 4-ounce, 113 gram. What comes in this is approximately a month supply. Again, it depends on how much you need to use based on your situation. And then our Ultra Mito Restore 3.0 with the XDS delivery system. Man, this product here is absolutely amazing. It's a liquid drop You put under your tongue, you take it sublingually and watch it go to work. So here is the story and the thing and rejuvenate. It uses natural ingredients that are amplified and driven deep inside the cell. Not just inside the cell, but it goes into the mitochondria, and it uses our proprietary XDS system technology. And then Restore works from the inside out by growing the mitochondria to increase cellular energy and provide your body with the natural resources to restore, regenerate, and repair itself, physical and emotional. Here is the thing. With the XDS technology that has developed by our formulator, Dr. Bevan Elliott, this is, let's take it, think about having a chain link fence that you're going to try to put a tennis ball through that chain link fence. If you squeeze that ball against the fence using some amount of energy, you'll actually get it through there eventually. But think about the same chain link fence, and you have your handful of marbles, and you just throw those marbles against the fence. They just go through and do what they need to do. So as you were looking at the picture of the cell at the beginning of the presentation, what happened is that this XDS technology goes through the lipid bilayer of the cell, gets into the cytoplasm, moves through the cytoplasm, and gets to the mitochondria. The mitochondria also has lipid bilayer. And so our technology is so powerful that it goes right into the mitochondria. What it's going to do when it gets in there, it's gonna boost it up. It's gonna give it a boost. It's gonna give it a jolt. It's gonna get the energy back up. Not only that, it's gonna help the cell also, or the mitochondria, to make more mitochondria. It's going to help it to replenish what needs to be replenished. And if there are ones in there that are beyond repair, then once the energy gets going, it will now activate the glutathione and tell it, yes, we need to get rid of these ones that are in here. So that is how our XDS delivery system actually works, by getting deep into the cell, get into the mitochondria, energize the mitochondria, and so get it going again. So Restore then is an adaptogenic formula. It is designed to promote and stimulate free natural energy from the mitochondria that can outlast your longest day. What do we mean by that? You know how about 2, 3 o'clock you have that down where you feel like you need another coffee, you need a Red Bull, you need a Monster, whichever one of those crazy drinks. When you are on our products here, after a while, you're going to find out that you go right through your day without even thinking about it. It enhances the brain's ability with the vision, the clarity, and the focus to meet your every challenge. Mood enhancement and chronic stress reduction. Listen, we don't have a machine yet in medicine to really measure stress. So just try to make your life as stress-free as possible. And also, we have learned now that stress actually damages your mitochondria. How about those who want deeper and more restorative sleep? Get your mitochondria right, you'll get more deep restorative sleep. I have folks that I've known and I've spoken to them, and they're like saying that, like on weekends, they used to just wake up every day, tired, lethargic, thinking about going to work Monday to Friday, and then weekend waking up just about the same time. But what they found out is that on a Saturday morning, they'll sleep until 11:30. And on a Sunday, if they don't really get themselves together, why? They are getting more deeper sleep. And guess what, folks? It is when you're in your deep sleep that the body actually does the repair work. So when we talk about cell detoxification and repair, yes, so when the mitochondria activates now and gets boosted and powerful, it activates the glutathione that is in there, which is the master antioxidant. And so now the glutathione is going to get rid of 3 things. It's going to get rid of inflammation, free radicals, and oxidative stress. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 3, like for inflammation, root cause of every disease. Oxidative stress basically is when there is more free radicals in your cells than there is enough antioxidant to get rid of them. So that is one of the good things. By boosting your mitochondria, giving it the power that it needs, it will help to begin to support the body. So Immune system enhancement. I really like these two: anti-parasitic and anti-pathogenic. So, folks, anti-pathogenic, that is awesome. Anti-parasitic, when we look at sometimes when we cut a person open, especially if we're doing a colonoscopy, not a colonoscopy, when we're doing a surgery for colon cancer, sometimes the laparoscopy doesn't work because of the cancer may be more than we imagine when we go in. And so we have to open them up. And sometimes you look at the size of the colon, huge. You're wondering to yourself, how under God's heaven we're going to get this thing back into this individual? And so what end up happening is that we have to kind of get rid of the stuff that is in it. And man, when you see what comes out of that, parasites, worms, these hookworms, all of that kind of stuff, tapeworm, because these guys go into your intestines and they try to live there. And that's what they do. So when you eat your nice food and thinking you're getting all the nutrients that you require from that food, by the time it gets to the small intestine, they're already taken away the nutrient rich part and you're surviving on their poop and all of that kind of stuff. So we got to be careful. So are you looking for body-wide support for organ and mental and major, for your major organ system? Yes, definitely. Enhance the ability for the body to manage itself and get into homeostasis. So here's the deal. We are not trying to get you to take a product that's going to heal your body. But what we are saying to you is that if we are getting you a product that's going to get into your cell through the cytoplasm, into the mitochondria is now going to start fixing the cell from inside out, get the body into homeostasis. So once the body is into homeostasis, now the body can begin to repair itself. So here are some documented benefits of two of the major ingredients in our Restore product: the olive oil, along with the olive leaf, and the black seed oil. It relieves excessive fatigue. Folks, when have you noticed more fatigue in people than today? Healthy blood sugar support. Man, talk about our persons who are diabetic. You get on our technology, our product, over time, it's going to enhance and get you back to healthy blood sugar support. And that is amazing because the blood sugar medicine, the side effects are out of this world. Healthy blood pressure support. Same thing here. When you get the blood pressure right, because you see these two guys, blood pressure and blood sugar, they usually walk hand in hand. And the end organ results can be devastating. Talk about heart and cardiovascular support, any major organ system. Folks, listen, the mitochondria then as the powerhouse of the cell. If you were able to power it up and get it going again, and as somebody would say, running on all 8 cylinders or however cylinders it runs on, can you imagine what's going to do to your metabolism? And if it's doing good stuff for your metabolism, it means it's doing great stuff for your weight loss. All right? So take a good look at that. Weight loss is something you go down a few pounds and you will see the numbers, especially in your high blood pressure, also get reduced like that. Do you want healthy hair and useful skin? Just build your mitochondria up. And remember, your hair also have cells in them. So part of your body have cells. Guess what? Mitochondria is there, and the mitochondria will get things right for you. Again, we talk about the anti-parasitic. We'll talk about getting rid of viruses, bacteria, fungus, molds, prions, all of those things will get help. I just had a meeting with a gentleman today. I was because he got on the product. He's not even my downline, but somebody had him call me, and he was suffering from a condition called balanitis. So a lot of folks who may not know what that is. Balanitis is basically when a male does not circumcise, and after a few years, maybe it could be by usually because their blood sugar is crazy, then they will have the swelling of the foreskin, and it is nasty. It looks like it rips, it tears, it swells, and it's really, really painful. He has been on our technology now for over just about 5, 6 weeks, and the scarring and the tearing and the pain is gone. Folks, this is amazing. Because usually people in balanitis, They take, people with balanitis, they take these topical creams, these steroids, and it goes away, but it come back. And then eventually, imagine a man at 40, at 50 year old having to go do, having to go cut off the foreskin. But we don't need to do that anymore with this gentleman because he has now gotten his problem fixed. So anybody on here who may be dealing with that situation, we will explain to you how to get rid of it. Cholesterol improvement, immune support for stuff like author, anything that is anti-inflammatory. We can get rid of them, the arthritis, the fibromyalgia, and all those rheumatoid issues. So the benefit of Restore is for those experiencing extreme energy deficit from effects of medication. So there are some medication that will actually lower your energy level and also will affect your mitochondria. Do you know athletes in your life, in your surroundings, who are striving for extreme performance, mitochondria fix? Then they will be able to get well and get going again without having to worry about water and any of those performance enhancing stuff. Those whose occupation require problem solving ability. Imagine your recall is going to be so crazy. I've listened to people and they're talking about their recall, short-term memory, long-term memory. They're remembering stuff and stuff is just popping up all over the place and stuff that they haven't remembered in a long time. Moms and dads, you go to work, you come home, you just want to fix stuff. If you just want to be as healthy as you can be, try Restore today and launch a rescue mission for yourself. How do you take it? Now, here is the recommended dose is 4 milliliters per day. So when you order your Restore, it comes with an applicator. It's a liquid. You just put it in it and you take out 4 milliliters per day and you put it under your tongue. A loading dose of double or more is recommended for the first days, and it can be taken morning or evening in a single dose, or you split it up. Folks, one of the things about medication, whether it be pharmaceutical or nutraceutical, one of the things about medication that we really stress on, sorry, is a mechanism of action. How do you get it to where it needs to go? How does it get to the body? When we first go to medical school and we're doing pharmacology, they talk to us about two things, pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic. One of them is what the drugs do to your body, and the other is what the body does to the drugs. Any drug that you take by mouth and it got to go through the stomach and then through the small intestine and into the liver, there's a first pass effect. And we have this thing that we call half-life. And so the stomach is going to destroy some, the liver is going to destroy some, and then the kidney is going to eliminate it over time. And so that is why you have to that's why they tell you, take it with food, take it without food, do it this way or do it that way. There is a reason for that. Now, this Restore, the way it is formulated to be taken is sublingual. So my instruction or advice is you just tilt your head back a little bit, get the applicator, put this thing under your tongue, hold your head back for a couple of minutes. And what you are going to recognize is that it is absorbed into your bloodstream under your tongue sublingually. And by the time you wait about 2.5 minutes or so, by the time you get there to swallow, it is 99 or 90% absorbed. There's hardly anything to swallow. Because some folks don't like the taste of the black seed oil because they have an acquired taste. But I'm telling you, to get the best effect of this thing is to hold your head back, not all the way back. Just put it under your tongue and just tilt your head about 30-degree angle and just hold it there and just allow it to be absorbed deep in, gets right into the bloodstream. From the bloodstream, it's going to get right into the cell. And then once it gets into the cell, it's going to get right to the mitochondria. And then it gets into the mitochondria and begin to do what it needs to do. So how quickly do you expect to see it work? Depend on what you're dealing with. Depend on what you're looking for. Some folks have actually seen results in same day. Most people report benefits in days or weeks. In some instances, you're going to have signs that the body's detoxifying. Some of the signs may include a slight headache. It may include the fact that you want to sleep a little bit more, you feel a little bit lethargic. Because remember now, the toxins are being drawn from your body. And so these are some of the early side effects. But continue taking it, and over time, you will recognize that now you'll get the flip side. One of the other thing that you're going to find out is that depending on how heavily backed up your colon is, you might find yourself going to the bathroom, not runny diarrhea, but with diarrhea, because a lot of folks think that it's diarrhea when it runs. But depending on the amount, it's the volume that determines whether or not it's diarrhea, not whether or not it's running. So you might find yourself going to the bathroom 2, 3 times within a 2, 3 hour period, because that's a form of detoxifying. I was listening for a young lady, and she was like, "No, I've been taking this thing and it's not doing anything for me." And then she said, "The only thing I found is that when I go to the bathroom and poo, sometimes I find that I have to be plunging it to get rid of what is coming out of my body." And the moderator was like, "Is it doing something for you? It's detoxifying your body." So in some cases, it may take months, and especially depending on how much detoxifying needs to be done. So folks who have complex situation, those that are on some kind of medication or other supplements, you got to just be more patient and give it more time. One of the things you're going to find out is that for nutraceutical to be really effective and efficacious, you need to give it about a 3 month goal. Here are the ingredients in our Restore. So we have number 1 and 2 and 3 main ingredients: extra virgin olive oil, black seed oil, and the olive leaf itself. A lot of folks are going out there and they're taking turmeric. When I look at the molecule of the turmeric, it is extremely difficult to get the full effect of turmeric, because it's too big, the molecule, to go deep inside of the cell. But the way Dr. Bevan has formulated it, it can go in because of the way it is done. Number 22, maca root. Maca root extract, that is the #1 ingredient in Viagra. So this is how it's going to help. And also what we found out is that there's an ingredient in the black seed oil that actually is 6 times more potent than CoQ10. Just look at all these benefits here. You can go and read them up for yourself. Now, second product, Ultra Mito Rejuvenate. It is great for anything that causes you to itch, to scratch, to break out, or anything that irritates. Any joint pain and discomfort, random bumps and breakouts, fine lines and wrinkles, sunburn, or damage from anything, even if it's decades old, burns, cuts, bruises, insect bite, dandruff, and any other scalp or razor issue. So it does not matter what it is. If it's on your skin and you don't want it there, the Rejuvenate will help you to eliminate it. So are there scars, moles, warts, skin tags? It is also used as a natural deodorant. Those of us who live in the winter countries, especially our females, this is a natural hairstyling product. It helps to repair damaged hair. Foot care. Imagine you have diabetes, diabetic retinopathy. Oh God, those folks who have those conditions, the feet are burning, the joints are burning, the pain, the discomfort is just crazy. We have one testimony of a lady. Actually, what happened is that her dad, they're Latino, and her dad, 67 years old, when she took the bandage off his feet, she noticed that there was a huge diabetic sore. And the other thing she also noticed was that the feet were black. You know, Latino folks are lighter in complexion, but his feet were definitely black. She took the Ultra Mito Rejuvenate and she began to massage it and rub it into his feet. Ladies and gentlemen, right there in front of her face, while rubbing the Rejuvenate on her dad's feet, she noticed, her mom notices, and another friend was there, noticed that the vein just popped open. And it really is not a vein. Usually it's an artery. Veins take blood back to the heart, arteries take them away from the heart. So that artery just popped open right in front of their faces. And the blood flow started happening again. Folks, that is amazing. Not only that, she also spoke of the 67-year-old man who had not able to make love to his wife in how many years? Few days after using this product, he was able to get in the bed and begin to make love to his wife again after so many years of issues. Do you know persons with sore and tired eyes? Listen, I was talking to a friend last night and they were saying to me, man, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. My sinuses are draining. And I'm like, oh, just get that Mito, rejuvenate, put it on your finger, your big finger and your middle finger. Just put them up your nose, rub it in your nostrils there, and just inhale it, inhale it. This morning she was like, man, I slept right through the night because I had given her one of the small bottles. She was like, I slept right through the night. So you know she's a customer. Now, do you want fresher, younger looking skin? Do you want a natural alternative to medication for pain and discomfort? What about persons who want to get sharpen their vision? What about persons who want to pursue vigorous athletic workout routine? Or just want to be as healthy as you can be without having to go through the stress and physical discomfort? So, how does rejuvenate work? How do I take it? So, one of the things that we have found out that is working well with a lot of people is that when they get their products, they are taking a teaspoon of the Restore and they are pouring it, putting it in the rejuvenate jar, shaking it up or stirring it up so that it mixes thoroughly. And so that is what they are doing, and it is seemingly it is giving best result. So you're gonna thoroughly massage it on or around the area that you need to get sorted out. Continue to use it even after the discomfort or the anomaly is gone to guarantee complete recovery. So rejuvenate here now can be used topically in a combination with Ultra Mito Restore. So that is what a lot of folks are doing. A lot of folks are talking about the glow. They are using this Restore combination and they are not putting on too much foundation and makeup and all of that stuff on their skin. Persons are using it as a natural deodorant. Persons are using it with persons who have eye issues. They're actually putting it directly into their eye. Mind you, though, if you put it directly in your eye, it's going to sting for a little bit, but it wears off in a matter of time. We have folks who are talking about not needing their reading glasses anymore, not needing their transitions lens anymore. So these products are working wonders. Again, just like with the Restore, some folks are going to see results within minutes. Others gonna, if you have like skin abnormalities like moles and skin tags, warts, and all of that kind of stuff, it's gonna take a little bit more time. Again, depending on the amount of detoxification. The more complex situation, including medication and supplements, gonna take a little bit longer. Again, it's that same conventional wisdom. Here, these are the products in our Restore, Rejuvenate, sorry. And so there they are. You can read up there, Google their medical properties when you get the time. So, Dr. Elliott, Bevan Elliott, the researcher, the formulator, this is what he says. He indicates that what affects health the most is the health of the mitochondria. You literally can't be your healthiest unless your mitochondria are at their best. If the health of the mitochondria can be improved and you have a more healthy mitochondria that are bigger and are more energetic, your overall health can be improved. Get the mitochondria right and watch your body rebuild, restore, and rejuvenate. So there's so much that we could go on and talk about other disease conditions. But what we're going to be doing going forward is that head office have a meeting on the weekend, Saturday and Monday. So whatever theme they come out with, then we will pay special attention to those themes as we go forward, so that we can actually get persons, just so that we're in one accord. So what we'd like you to do is to talk to the person that gets you that invite you here. Sign up as a referring customer, order the product. Tell persons, Mother's Day is coming. That dress, that restaurant, that whatever you've been buying her all of these years, Give her the give her the gift of comfort this Mother's Day and help her and the women in our lives, whether they be mothers, grandmothers, wives, sisters. Because listen, after folks reach a certain age, guess what start happening? Like ligaments, some people have issues with like your knees. Now you're having bone to bone issues, ankle pain, joint discomfort, all of that kind of stuff. And then we are having so much great testimonials of people being relieved from pain, physically, mentally, emotionally. One more testimony, not mine, that I have to share with you is that people keep asking me, Doc, does it work for menopause? And then on Monday, we heard an emphatic yes. I think she's a doctor that came on the call, and she's now like, the hot flashes have been reduced about 70%, and the night sweat is practically gone. So that is some kind of good information. So, what do you want to do? You just want to get with the person that invite you here. So what I want to show you, how do you get these products? So, so the company has it set up this way. If you want the Restore by itself, which is the liquid gel that you drop under your tongue, it's $110 for that if you want to buy it by itself. If you want the Rejuvenate by itself, it's actually $60 for that. And then we have the Ultra Mito Pet. If you have pet that's going through any kind of discomfort or whatever, we have a product here that is tailor-made just for them. Because remember, your pets, they feel what we feel. They go through all the stuff that we go through. So these are the individual prices, but the company has put out some bundles that is able to kind of help to alleviate some things. So bundle number one. So if you look at bundle number one, if you purchase bundle number one, you're going to get the Restore, the Rejuvenate, and an extra jar of Rejuvenate, and over $200 value, you're going to get it for $160. So that is for that one. So you get that for like $160. And so there you can look at them on the bundles that go with it. If you have a more chronic situation, or if you have multiple people in your family that needs to get this stuff, then you can order the other bundles that are available. So, folks, this is it. This is the new dawn. This is the dawning of a new day to deal with discomfort, to deal with sickness and diseases. Because what happened is that if you get the mitochondria right, a lot of stuff will have to just say so long, bye bye.